What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a special treat. We're on a road trip. So I don't know if all of you follow these guys, but all of you should follow these guys.
Right there, Shifsky.
I'm in Minnesota and it's effing cold, but they're out here digging a basement. We've got some bad soil we're removing. Let's go check it out. We'll see you guys in a minute. Guys, I feel honored. I have been brought to the Shifsky home. Actually, Shifsky, not Shifky. Shifsky shop.
How's it going?
So there's Carson.
What's up?
He's giving me the tour.
The grand tour here.
Here's the shop with their trucks. They run landscaping for the most part. They've gotten into dirt work over this past year. He's trying to get bigger into the dirt work, starting in on the residential, which is actually the same path that I followed. So he's got a really cool backstory. How old are you and your brother?
I'm 22, and actually today is Colt, my older brother's birthday, 24 today. So 22 and 24, they're buying the company from their dad, and they're plowing their own way, getting into the dirt work. So awesome story. Go check out Carson's channel. It's really awesome following these guys, especially now that I know the backstory on the company. Really awesome. So we're gonna go do a quick tour of the shop, and then we'll make it back out to the job. It's funny because I've been watching his channel and I recognize this shop even though I've never set foot in here.
Dad's cleaning shop.
What's that?
Dad's cleaning the shop.
Is that what's going on?
Right on.
I'm Ryan.
Hey Ryan, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
yeah, so this is obviously the work area. This is Dad's personal rig here. This is where office over there. Nothing too crazy. We've got all of our toys and tools here. So a lot of our snow stuff here. We're putting stuff away for the summer season. We just winterized all the hand tools and power tools, stuff like that. We've got calcium chloride, I mean just a bunch of stuff here. So second says the got mowers and stuff on that side over there, but second says the personal shop too with all the toys.
Gotcha.
Nothing crazy there.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, definitely. You know, work with what you got.
Yeah,
Start and
that's awesome.
work your way up. So we've got the trucks here, and then we'll loop down around to the yard, kind of down there where most of the other equipment and tools and supplies and stuff are.
Okay.
And we are currently in the process of moving and relocating to an industrial location. We're just waiting on some permitting and stuff like that. The Planning Commission just approved our permit 2 weeks ago, and now we're waiting on the town board to finally approve it.
Gotcha.
Next week, Monday actually. So after that,
So you guys will
hopefully-
have a complete independent shop.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's kind of the goal there. But this is where we just keep some of the trailers out here. So some of the implements here. These are actually, if anybody needs a bunch of bridges or something, we've got these I-beam structures. They were at the West St. Paul Athletic Dome. They came off of, they were like these roof things for these stairs that went underground.
Really?
Just protect them from snow and whatnot. We took them out of there and we're like, well, hell, we're gonna keep them and use them for something.
Yeah.
I mean, those are, it's all galvanized. They're gonna use them or sell them.
Gotcha.
I want to turn them into like some bridges or something.
Yeah. Or maybe some new ramps for a trailer.
Yeah, yeah, or that, pretty much. So, and then this is the,
Kind of the landscape yard.
yeah, pretty much, you know, extra materials and stuff that we don't use on jobs or anything extra. Don't mind the side of the dump truck here. We're going to be painting the box black, so we're just doing some test colors on the side after
Gotcha.
we washed it. But we're going to get that all sandblasted up, and so this is,
Got your little screener?
yeah, that's the little dirt screener. So directly behind us is the compost pile. So that's what we screen everything there with. And we've probably this year, you know, not that it's that much, but we probably moved about 400 yards of material through that screener. For a little
that,
of a
yeah,
screener,
for that, that's
not, yeah,
impressive.
it's not bad. So
Awesome.
we did. I actually made a video on it, but we figured if you're charging about $20 a yard for the screen topsoil, and with what we're using, a lot of it's like leaf litter and debris, so it's all like good like compost. Like,
yep.
It's actually really good material. So if you're charging about $20 a yard, which is pretty fair average around here, we figured it comes out to be, if you've got dry soil and you can screen it fast enough, about $300 an hour.
Wow.
With a skid loader and the screener.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is pretty good for
That's not
a
bad.
$2,000 screener.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So here's just a couple more of the trailers. That's pretty much it. We kind of got her doing a big loop. So this was all, I mean, we've always had the yard down here, but the one out back where the other trailers were, that we just kind of moved out to. It just used to be grass, but we moved out there this year. Really.
Gotcha.
I mean, we're running out of space, as you can see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially if you start getting into the dirt work and start getting some larger
we can't
equipment.
get, with the dump truck and a trailer, we can't even get it in here.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to unhook it and then hook a pickup to it to move
Oh,
it
wow.
around. So, yeah, we're running out of space for sure.
So where are we off to now? Back to the job?
Yeah, I think we'll go back to the job now. We've got the grease gun. I'm trying to think if we needed anything else or if they mentioned they needed anything else. I don't think so. So we should be good.
Well guys, if you've watched my channel for long, you know that I always manage to weasel my way into a seat. So here we are, working for Carson. Whoop. Working for Carson, and I managed to work my way into a seat. So basically we're taking the dirt off-site here and moving it about 3 lots down because it's good topsoil. They just need to get it off of the lot so they got room to build. That's why I don't miss residential work, is you run into this fairly frequently where you end up trucking material, you know, 200 yards away, and it takes more time to dig the basement, it takes more time to get the finish grade done at the end. But it's a necessary evil on these tight residential lots. So if I were loading a truck that was going to go off-site, I would not be loading super heaped full buckets and I wouldn't be spilling material all over the truck. But since we're staying in the subdivision, he's just going right next door, I'm not concerned about making a little bit of a mess. So let's give you an example. If he was going to stay on, if he was not going to stay on site and he was going down the road, generally I would give my bucket a shake so that it's pretty level. We don't have a lot of excess material, and you can see that when we swing over, you don't have hardly anything spill off of your bucket, which makes your truck driver happy because then he doesn't have to get out and clean the sides of his truck off. So if you're wondering how to know if your truck is getting loaded full and relatively even, you can actually use the excavator to do this. I'm totally blind as to what's going on in the back of the truck. But what I can do is I can dump this relatively low. We have to watch our thumb so we don't hit his side rails. But I know that once I dump that bucket low and dirt stops falling out of the bucket, then that part of the truck is full, and then I'll start working my way towards the back of the truck. So that's the way you load a truck in the blind. And I think I'm getting close because I saw one of those dirt clumps come out a little slower than normal. Yeah, so we're pretty much full at the front, and so now I'm going to start working my way back. And if you wonder why I'm loading a little slow, it's because I just met Carson and I want him to like me. And if he has to replace a couple side rails on his truck because I went a little fast, I don't think he's gonna like me. So I'm just loading nice and easy. We're in no rush. That, and this is an old worn out rental machine. And until I get used to running it, I'm not rushing anything. How that, hopefully you can see how that dirt's coming a little slower out of the bucket there, so I know I'm getting pretty full at the back. Maybe another bucket or two and we'll be there. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more and we'll call this a load. He's back there talking to the engineer, so I'm not going to honk at him. Alright guys, quick update on the situation. So what's going on here is we've got multiple problems. The first problem is this basement was set to the elevation according to the original developer's blueprint. When they come out here and actually shot grades, they found out that the ground is actually about 2 foot lower than it was supposed to be when the sub was developed. So as a result, they're having to take, well, actually, let's back up. So not only that's problem number one, problem number two is the original developer decided for whatever reason not to strip topsoil when they developed this property. Instead, they came out here and mulched all the trees, and then they started putting fill right over all of the mulchings and the existing topsoil. Now, for the developer, not that big of a deal, right? If you're not building the houses. I'm going to tell you why that's a problem for the guy who has to build the house, because of this right here. The entire area is topsoil full of organics. Well, guess what? House footers can't sit on organics. Now the builder's having to eat the cost of about 2 foot of sand that's going to have to be hauled back in here, plus the cost of all of the topsoil that's got to get pulled out of this hole and trucked out somewhere. So he's going to probably have, I don't even know, I'm not going to put a number on it, he's going to have a little more cost into this than he should have, and it all boils down to the original developer didn't do their job and strip the topsoil before they started land balancing. So we've got that going on. So all of the topsoil that we're pulling out of here for now is going about 2 lots down. Let me walk over here and I'll show you, because you can actually see him dumping right now. So if I spin you around, you can see him dumping over there where they got the skid. So right after I pointed you at the dump truck, my battery died. So sort of convenient timing, but not really, because it totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, so they're having to haul a bunch of extra material out of this hole because of the fact that the original developer didn't do their job correctly. So the builder's not too happy about that. Carson and his guys aren't complaining because, of course, they get to charge for the extra material coming out of the hole. It's not their fault, right? So that's why it's really important that you do your job correctly as a contractor, because believe it or not, it's always going to come back and bite you. They know who the original developer was. This reflects poorly on the original developer. Now, whether it was intentional or not, that's could have been a foreman that just decided to say, ah, this is a small sub, it. But it's important to do your job right, because it will get around eventually. Nothing stays in the ground forever. So anyway, that's what we've been up to. We're waiting on an engineer to come out and tell us exactly what needs to come out of the hole. We're pretty confident all the topsoil is going to have to come out. We're kind of hopeful for the builder's part, at least, that maybe they'll let a little topsoil stay where the crown of the basement will be. We'll see what happens. So that's all I've got, just a quick update on the day. We're going to keep at it. Carson's currently loading some more topsoil out. They still have to clear this area here for the garage pad. So we're going to keep at it, and we'll catch you guys later. Alright guys, quick update. Carson has legitimately put me to work. They just threw a track and a skid steer, and so I offered to jump in here and help out. Let me figure out how to adjust this seat backwards. Oh well, it ain't gonna happen. Anyway, they threw a track on the skid steer, so while he's dealing with that, I'm going to, first of all, clear off a spot here. As they haul material out, he's gonna backhaul with sand, and so I'm gonna make a nice little pad for him to put sand down where it won't get too contaminated. If you don't know what a backhaul is, when you take material out, if you bring your dump truck back without anything in it, it's not making you money. When your dump truck's driving around empty, it's costing you money. You're paying for diesel, you're paying for the time on the truck and the maintenance. But if it's full, it's making you money. And so the backhaul is when you take material out, instead of coming back empty, you bring material back with you, so you're making money. That's the smart way to do things. So Carson's brother is going to get a load of sand to start bringing in so we can stockpile to start raising the basement grade back up once we're done digging all the topsoil out. So the pad I'm making right now is for him to bring back sand, and then once I'm done with this, making this pad, I'm gonna jump down in the hole and I'm gonna start peeling that topsoil out of there. We just had the engineer show up and give us a definitive answer on the question we all pretty much knew the answer to, which is all the topsoil has to come out of there. So there we are. I got hired by Shifsky Excavating, and I've only been here for, what, 4 hours? Told you guys I'd work my way into the seat. I just didn't realize I'd work my way into a job for the day. So if you ever wonder what goes into owning an excavating company, this is it. Carson's got his plate full today with dealing with a topsoil issue he didn't know he had, and dealing with a skid steer track issue he didn't know he had, and it's all costing money. time. It's preventing them from moving on to other jobs. And in this industry, you just got to roll with the punches. I think we can call that good. Helps to have a tube of grease floating around at my feet too. It might be faster to spin the other way. We'll see. Yeah, I'm thinking the other way is the way to go. So when you're doing something like this where you're not sure where the grade is, where you're chasing clay, don't dig super deep in one spot. Take small, shallow passes. You can see I'm still getting a full bucket, but I'm doing it with a long, shallow pass. That way I can keep really close track of what the grade is doing and where that good soil or clay in this situation, where that good clay starts. Otherwise what happens is you take too much material and you either cost yourself money or you cost your builder money, or both, because you wasted a bunch of time and now your builder has to pay more for sand. And if you cost your builder lots of money, your builder ain't gonna want to hire you for the next one. This is a worn out hoe. You may see us bouncing up and down. That is not me rolling on the surface of the dirt. That is the amount of play that is in this machine throughout the arm, the boom, and the turntable. This, it's a rental machine, and you can tell she's been rode hard, put away wet. Okay, right there we're starting to get into the clay. So I'm not going to go any deeper. I'm just going to start chasing it. I'm probably gonna have to get out and actually look at that, because while it changed colors, it still looks like there's a bunch of roots and everything in there, and I'm not convinced that's decent material. Yeah, we're gonna go down to that gray stuff there. Still way too many roots. Quick update, there's a lot of dirt in here, so we are probably 5 foot deep out in this area right in here. basically what I'm doing is I'm just following the garbage dirt, all the organics, the roots, the topsoily kind of nastiness, and it's dove down. It's come shallow a couple places, but for the most part we're sticking around about a 3-foot cut. So it sucks for the builder, but this has all got to come out of here or else you can't build a house. So we are stockpiling it up top for now. I think we've run 3 loads of sand and he's on his 3rd load of soil going out. And it's just gonna be one of those things where as soon as the truck comes, I hop up there and load him, and then he takes that, goes and gets some sand, and we just been going back and forth. Carson had to run and get the broom for the skid because we actually had to track this machine down the road to help leverage that track back into place, and we made a big mess in the road, so he went to go get the broom for the skid. So I am continuing to operate. So legitimately, Carson has put me to work today. This was gonna be like a, hey, I'll just come out and run the machine for a little bit and we'll get some video, but legitimately, like so often happens when I'm on job sites, they were a man short, and he's helping me out by kind of pointing traffic over to me, so I'm absolutely gonna help him out, and I'll jump in a seat when he needs it. So not a whole lot of super exciting stuff, but that's what I've been up to. I tell you, the worst part of this is where that sun is. As you can see, we're swinging right into the sun, which is really making it difficult to see. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about that. Thinking here in a minute I'm gonna have to get up there and bale some of this back. I'm running out of room, and this little 120 ain't gonna reach much further. It looks like this all kind of shallows up back where I'm sitting, so I'm hoping we've only got that one deep pot here, and then it'll start coming shallow so that I don't have to keep getting deeper. And so far it's just been getting deeper and deeper and deeper.